Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome to 93.7. This is Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC. And on the ones and twos again is Harrison. And we're both out here sporting the start of NFL season because we got to have something to celebrate today. So he's got his Chicago Bears stuff. I won't hold him against him. And I'm repping the Sunday night game, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
You might have a new one. I've seen some headlines lately that there might be a new. Yeah, I know that's going to pain some people. But, yeah, no, NFL season. I was even walking out today not wearing the shirt. And I was like, I know, Jeff. I know I knew you were going to come in with Cowboys gear. So I actually turned around.
Most definitely. I had it laid out. ironed. I was ready to go, choosing which shade I wanted to go ahead and wear. I know what uniforms they're wearing tonight, but in all sincerity, I want to just welcome everybody back. Harrison, I want to thank you. I was out of town last week, rolled into town this morning about 3 a.m. from a trip to Colorado. Daughter had a tournament out in Colorado Springs, and so got to experience some of the prime Coach Prime madness out there while we're out there. But congrats to UNK Lopers. They have started the season 9-0 and had a 4-0 weekend. So really good weekend for them and Coach Rick Squires and the squad. And so just excited to kind of get out there and watch them, and made some travel back, listened to a lot of post game and some tears and jeers, and then also got to listen to the Denver station on the other side, and so they do believe. That's all I have to say. They do believe.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're them, why wouldn't you at this point? You have no reason not to. I mean, again, small sample size, but no, while you were gone, we did have Antonio kind of running. I thought you might bring Antonio back today because he did do a great job, and you coming in, as early as you did. What'd you get here? 3 a.m.?
Yeah, 3 a.m. We pulled into the driveway, so we got a little bit of time off coming down. I will not recommend that for those of you that are out there. But Antonio, I do want to give just a shout out and thank you and DP and Rebecca. And we say this, you've heard this, across the board on different stations, but providing the space for that young man. I listened. I was in the airport in Utah, walking through, and I wanted to call in. I was able to shoot a text, but man, 6th grade, and just held it down. And I mean, just the questions he asked, and I know the clip. If you didn't get a chance to see it, Harrison, why don't you tell people where they can go catch the replay of that?
Yeah,
show?
Absolutely. You can go to any of the replays on YouTube, is where a lot of people like to watch them. And again, all the streams we have them: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. But if you want to rewatch it, go to ticketfm.com. You can get the podcast, or just go 93.7 The Ticket on YouTube. And again, you can watch Antonio, and it was really impressive. I can't think of myself as a 6th grader sitting in the studio with the nerve to kind of ask these, just really good questions. And you just asked Phil Maynard is a really good question. It's like you've had a background teaching multiple people and their ups and downs. What is a commonality that you want everyone to kind of understand? And it was just really impressive to have someone that young. So I seriously recommend it. Check out Antonio last week's show. He did a great job. And Ellie Ekman too. I don't want to leave her out. She was fantastic.
You know what? I even shot Ellie a text on the way home, and I just said, hey, but I shot her dad a text, and I said, by the way, you're going to see her on here one day when I'm gone hosting. He was so smooth, and just her answers, but just knowing her authenticity is unbelievable. And so, best to her. I really appreciate all 3 of them stepping in. But Ellie, we're working on some things, and we're going to have some when I'm gone. It's about being bigger than the score, and it's about elevating scholars' voices. And so, again, just thank you to DP and you and Rebecca for providing that space to do that. And got a big move coming up this week. So the marquee is up. The lights are flowing down there on O Street, and next week this time we'll be in another studio. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. Obviously, from the producer's end, you get the new equipment. It makes everything a lot better on my end. But no, it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited. Obviously, it's great for us. But I'm thinking about even shows just like this. You have shows like Teammates. You have shows like Big Brother, Big Sister. And those are kind of shows that when people are walking by, you never know if that's going to catch your ear. Like maybe you'd be a mentor for a teammate, or you're just sitting there listening to someone like Antonio. And I'll say this again, Lincoln has just a lot of great people. And one of the things that, if those guys want to go somewhere else, that's their thing. But I would love to keep a lot of those great people in Lincoln because, obviously you want to grow your community. What they decide to do is their choice. But nonetheless, I love supporting those guys. And moving downtown, it's going to be awesome. More FaceTime for obviously if you want to see your Hall of Famers. And I'm on Green, Eric Strickland. But also just good for the community overall. I think kind of having that local voice, which is something your show does very well. Even Fitness Fanatics right after you, they get, runs from all over. Kind of having that local voice right downtown and having that face-to-face interaction. I'm super excited. I only imagine that's not just great for us, but just Lincoln as community as well.
Well, the landscape of downtown is such a perfect fit. I mean, when you think about just all the things that it has to offer, you've got the Haymarket, and you're thinking about that strip on O Street when that festival area, and then just during game, pre-game, post-game, for a variety of things, whether it's volleyball, basketball, whether there's events at the Lead Center. What the ticket has become a great spot to showcasing different things. And so grabbing somebody from the Lead Center that might be on or whatever, and they're able to just kind of come right down the street or whatever, and having them in studio, being able to talk about, whether it's the Ian Thompson World Forum, or a panel member or somebody that's performing. I think it just provides a lot of different options and accessibility to the listenership of the ticket or the viewership or whatever it might be. And so I'm excited for that, on Sundays. People are coming and grabbing a cup of coffee, just want to talk about different things. I feel like this show can be one of those ones that can either keep you on that high, or if you need one, it lift you up a little bit as well. And so I think people truly understand the reality of just kind of what sports is. And sports is an opportunity. Sports is something that can empower you. Sports is something that can educate you, but it's also meant to engage you. And I think that's what the ticket's done so well, in the highs and lows of whatever people might be feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're all super excited here, and we're excited for all you guys to check it out. I'm sure you saw a lot of pictures from the staff meeting. And Mark always kind of cracks me up. He went down there just to make sure it's quote unquote real, even though he's the manager. But nonetheless, if you guys want to join the show, Sartor Haven text line 402-464-5685. And again, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. And again, I like to call this feel good hour. So especially a day after yesterday, maybe some people,
nobody knows what went on yesterday. I mean, people are like, they're like, what went on yesterday?
Well, a lot of people, I will say this, a lot of people around here do know that Texas, they did get the win yesterday. Yes. That's another burner right there. We can leave the other one alone. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and preview a little bit of what we had ahead on this show. And again, we're going all the way up until 9 o'clock. And if you missed any of it, just go to YouTube. You can rewind there.
Yeah, like I said, I always say I'm excited. We have phenomenal individuals, but no different this morning. These cats came in dressed to a T. I mean, they're looking if you're watching the stream, like you're looking at myself and and Harrison in our football outfits, and you're like, okay, these bums need to go. Well, I almost want to just keep the cubes on us, and then we'll just let you hear their voices. But we've got Scholar Emiliano. And he is going to, he's already dropped some knowledge, got a great head of hair. Came in with a black shirt, ready to go. He's going to give some shout outs to his family and everything. And then, Ciro, I was going to say Scholar Ciro, he reminded me of how we knew each other. From a little while ago, but both of them are part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. But one of the reasons I just wanted, my focus and platform has been on relationships and why relationships matters. And so, in conversation with some individuals and just getting to know them a little bit, I really wanted to just focus and profile that, why are relationships so important? And so Ciro is a young man, and I love, like I said, his look. We talked about playing FIFA soccer online and everything. He said he's going to go ahead and take me down and handle me the business. And then Emiliano, Ciro, who stepped up and is a big for Emiliano. And so I'm really kind of just excited to hear them about their relationships, about advice that they would give to their peers, the greater community, and also educators. He shared with me one a little bit earlier about something about getting old. So I'm going to see if he's willing to go ahead and share that a little bit later. But that's what this segment's about. It's just about sharing advice, sharing input. And again, I said it earlier about empowering, educating, and engaging those who listen. And so if you got the blues this Sunday morning, this is definitely that lift you up. It's that pick me up. If you're excited about the Cowboys at 7 o'clock, I'm becoming like Raph. I really am. Let's ride. Raph, that's my one shout out to you. If you're excited about the Cowboys this evening, this is that pregame for you right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, I'll quick mention it before I get on a little rant here, but Big Brother Big Sister, again, that is a good one. And if you guys want to ask questions about that, if we don't get to them on air, I'll go ahead and type them in. I can direct you to the right place, because that is another great community kind of project they have going on here. They help a lot of people out. 402-464-5685. But no, it's funny, you mentioned you're kind of becoming a Raph. I see it 100%. It was Wide World of Raph Wednesday night.
Oh yeah,
we're previewing Raiders versus Broncos.
Oh, wow.
And I call for the Raiders. I think Raph was ready to put me through the table. He couldn't believe his ears. But it's that time of year. The NFL brings out a lot of feelings. We just got to be kind. So again, this is a good hour to kind of feel good about the community, and everyone just take a breather before NFL kickoff. Obviously, my nerves are high. We got Packers to start the season out, so
Wow.
you can imagine a lot of feelings going through here. But Pete, since we got just a couple more minutes here, I want to ask you, since we're kind of talking about Big Brother Sister and we have a couple of members, why do you think being a mentor for some of this youth is such an important thing to kind of have, especially around the community? Because there's a lot of things, I've said it before, teammates that need mentors, Big Brother, Big Sisters that need mentors. Why is that something that if you have time, you should really consider?
Yeah, like I've said earlier, it's just relationships absolutely matter. Hands down, when you talk about the importance, every one of us can sit there and think about times in our lives where we've been impacted. And it's been through a relationship. It's not a video game. It's not been, I use that quote from Maya Angelou. I oftentimes forget what people have said, forget what people have done, but I always remember how people have made me feel. And relationships provide you those life A's that I like to put forward. They provide you access, they provide you awareness, they provide you somebody that can be an advocate. And so when you think about, an agency like mentorship, like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, it's one of those things that support. It doesn't supplant what a parent wants. It supports, what parents want for their individuals. And they recognize that they've had those in their lives, and they see Big Brothers, Big Sisters or other like agencies as an opportunity to support that. And again, I think that's real important. Again, it's a supportive piece. It's not to supplant. Like, so when I engage with young people, when you engage with, individuals, and Cyril engages, he's only supporting the hopes and dreams and wishes that parent has for their child.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? And I think sometimes people get it mistaken, and they were like, oh, I'm the mentor, I get the credit, this, that, and the other. No, I always refer back to that parent and say, you know what? I appreciate you letting me be with your most prized possession. Your most prized possession, that's your child.
Absolutely. And it just makes a huge difference kind of having someone there that, even if the kid, they love their parents, it's always nice to have, you can never have too many mentors.
Exactly.
DP says that all the time, and I'm fully with him there. I was fortunate, small class of 40. So I had a lot more one-on-one. A thing like mentors in a town population of 1,600 people, I didn't need it. I was fortunate enough to where such a small class body, the Chad Cotto football coach, Hamilton choir teacher. I had a lot of great mentors there. But you got to think, you get to these Class A schools, you can have great teachers, great parents. It's just a lot of kids, and the more help, the better. So you get those mentors in there. They're greatly appreciated. We do have one text before we go to break here from the very own Phil Maynard. Bear down, Harrison. Cowboys have a game? ? Good to see you back in studio, Pete. Looking forward to today's guest. And we will get to those guests on the next segment. Again, this is Bigger Than the Score with Pete Ferguson. We'll throw it to break and catch you guys on the other side.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zip line gliding, rock base climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bigger Than the Score on 93.7 The Ticket. This is Peter Ferguson, and I'm joined on the boards with Harrison, who has been mixing it up. We had a shout out from guest host Phil Maynard earlier, so I wanted to say thanks. I appreciate you listening. Harrison, if people want to get in touch with us, how can they go ahead and do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Super easy to do so. Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. You can comment on those streams. It's also a great way to go ahead and put a face to the voice.
Awesome. Well, hey, we previewed our guests a little bit before the break, and as I said, I told you not to go ahead and put the boxes up. They came in here looking sharp as a tack on Sunday morning. We got Skylar Emiliano and his big Ciro. Welcome, you guys. Appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. This my man's ready to go. He's ready to go. Well, hey, let's start off right off the bat. Like, Sarah, why don't you tell us a little bit just about who you are? Have you always lived in Lincoln? You know, where did you go to school, and then what do you do now?
Yeah, I was born, raised here in Lincoln. I went to Lincoln Southeast.
Okay.
Go Knights.
I'll go Knights.
KP, graduated in 2016.
You didn't have to throw the graduation year out there, man, making us all no.
Then I went to UNL, and then 2020, class of 2020, tough year, but we made it through. So also tough because I became a Husker football fan. So it was a tough time to become a fan, but hey, I bleed red now. So.
Oh, fantastic. So you said you went to school. You talked about Southeast. Where did you go to elementary and middle school?
I went to College View Academy.
Okay.
Growing up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what did you do some things at Southeast for those that you're giving the shout out to Southeast? What you said you played soccer, but did you do some other things?
Yeah, I played soccer, tennis. I was involved in Latino Caucus. And shout out to my coaches in sports. I loved I love my tennis coaches.
Awesome.
They're really good guys.
Awesome. Strong tradition of sports over there at Southeast as well as academics. So shout out to the Knights. And we got Scholar Emiliano. Tell us a little bit about you. Where do you go to school? Who's Emiliano?
I go to Color in 6th grade. I play soccer. I used to do wrestling, and I'm doing dance.
Okay, fantastic. So where did you go to elementary school?
Riley.
Okay, so Riley, and now you're at Color 6th grade. What's that been like? First year in middle school. Tell us what you've learned in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Like a lot of different stuff. Like in math, we're like reviewing right now.
Okay.
But then like we're building up to doing more stuff. And then in my humanities classes, we're doing Amplify and like just reading and like taking notes on different stories.
Awesome. Love all that. You got a lot going on. You said math reviewing. I'd be like, I'm not even reviewing. I'm still trying to learn all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. At least he's locked in and he knows what the schedules are. I don't know if I'd be able to rip off all the assignments for my classes at that point in time.
I was like, at that point, okay, you're awake, you're attentive, so you're probably one of the best scholars there. So, Emiliano, tell us, who's in your family? Who makes up your family?
My mom, my dad, and my 3 sisters.
Awesome. And can you, I know sometimes people aren't allowed to call their parents by their first name, but we want you to give them a shout out if you could. And then if you want to give credit to your siblings as well, go ahead and throw their names out there as well.
My mom's name is Amy. My dad's name is Jorge. And my 3 sisters are Kiara, Jocelyn, and Joy.
Awesome. So shout out to your family out there. I know they're all listening and proud and got big smiles on that. They got their names dropped. And you remember the most important person, you dropped your mom's name first. That's our rule here on the show. Sarah, what about you? Who makes up your family?
It's my sister, Vasti.
Okay.
My dad, Julio, my mom, Ogla, my grandparents, my grandpa Florencio, my grandma Priscilla. It's my family.
Okay. So both you guys got some families and got them out there listening. So fantastic. So tell us something. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Sarah. Tell us something that people don't know just by looking at you. So if you just got in their space just by looking at you, what's something people wouldn't know by just looking at you?
So behind this pretty face, something that they don't know is I'm a classical music aficionado.
Wow. Okay.
I love Franz Liszt. I love piano. I used to actually play the French horn.
Okay.
In high school, so I just really enjoy listening to good classical music.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Okay. I like that. That's something new. We haven't heard that before. Emiliano, what about you? What's something if people just saw you that they wouldn't know without having to talk to you?
Probably that I do new stuff every Wednesday.
Okay. So every Wednesday, what goes on Wednesdays?
Me and Ciro decide something to do.
Okay.
And do it.
Okay. What's been your favorite thing to do? And we'll get into kind of that relationship a little bit. Well, what's been one of your favorite things to do?
Practicing soccer.
Okay. You talked about that a little bit earlier. So you said you play FIFA. Okay. So who's your team on FIFA?
FC Barcelona.
FC Barcelona. Okay, we had a little conflict going on here, you and Harrison. Okay, with that, because Harrison likes to hit the sticks a little bit too, and then Rico, who's not here, he likes to claim that he's a gamer, and Amon Green, I'm sure he goes ahead and throws it down too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm on Green, big on the esports. I don't know. I couldn't tell you where his FIFA game is. You might have him on that one, but nonetheless, we also had a little conversation. I want to ask you, who's your favorite player right now?
Messi.
Okay. Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, for anyone who's been watching Messi in the U.S., he's been nothing short than spectacular.
Well, and so you talked about that in soccer as well. You said you played soccer. You guys kind of who's better between both of you?
Me.
So what about you? Your favorite player?
It's funny because my favorite team is Real Madrid, and my favorite player is Cristiano Ronaldo. So we kind of bump heads
Wow. A little conflict in studio already. Well, we might have to, at the new studio, get a screen up. And when you come in, go ahead and throw it down during breaks or before we get the show started. So we talked a lot about relationships, okay? And both of you are part of a program, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and we'll get to kind of some specifics on that. But I want to just get in general, like, why are relationships important? And Sarah, we'll start with you. What's been a relationship that you've had in your life, and why has it been so important? What impact has it had for you?
So I think relationships are important because they help you build, and not just help yourself, but help the person you're in a relationship with build. So I think I'm pretty blessed to have some really good friends in my life that we help each other just grow and push each other to get to that next level. And not only like push each other, but whenever another friend is feeling down, pick them back up and, go on that race together, finish the race together.
Awesome. What does that look like for you? If you can maybe just give an example of one of those relationships that you had.
Example is in college. I had a big dream of studying abroad.
Okay.
And my roommate friend Sam, he kind of helped me go through that. And I was feeling down. I almost felt like it wasn't going to happen, but we kind of both got it done. And we went to Barcelona.
Wow.
A semester, and we're able to have really good time. And we just examples like that. Just whenever I'm feeling down, a friend picks me back up.
Awesome.
And we just help each other grow.
Awesome. And Emiliano, tell us, why are relationships important to you?
Because like every time you have like a good laugh, it could be like the only laugh you have in one day.
Wow. You talked about having that good laugh. I think that's one of those important things that everybody should have that opportunity. I think Jimmy Valvano said that everybody should have that opportunity to have a good laugh each and every day. So when you talk about that, how do people make you laugh?
Just by doing whatever, like saying jokes or something.
And I like, we won't ask you what jokes, quite yet, since we're on air. But when you talk about that, we talked earlier about being comfortable, being uncomfortable, in relationships. And so what does that look like when you talked about, that comfortability of building a relationship, but also sometimes that uncomfortability of what that might look like?
Sure. I think it's important to put yourself in new positions and putting yourself thinking outside of the box, kind of, and being uncomfortable. It's just like trying something new. I know going into this program is something new that I didn't ever think I would do, but shout out to my girlfriend. She's a teacher at Campbell.
Okay.
Go Coyotes. She kind of introduced me to the idea of teammates, and I looked into it. And unfortunately, since kind of recently out of college, I work 8 to 5.
Right.
But I'm like, there has to be something else out there somewhat similar. And that's when I came across Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Awesome.
And I dug deeper and looked into it. So putting myself in that uncomfortable position. And I think that's something everybody should strive and try to do.
What were some of those skepticisms, before you got started that maybe some people who want to get involved might be facing that, before you talk to your girlfriend, this was kind of a worry before you got started?
So probably, work, maybe that it would be big time commitment. But like as Emiliano mentioned, we meet every week on Wednesdays, a couple hours, and it's not bad at all. It's fun. It helps me. It's always good to see him, and also kind of I feel like it keeps me young. I feel like I know the lingo.
Right.
So
I believe that. I've had you mentioned teammates. We have a show every Wednesday with teammates, and I've had some of the mentors understand no cap and cap. So
okay.
That right there, and they tell me they get it from their mentees, and they figure out. So you do get a little bit of cultural lingo if you want to become a mentor. You'll at least stay tied into the youth. You'll know what they're talking about. So there is some pluses there for sure.
Oh, so Emiliano, tell us, you meet every Wednesday. What's the coolest part? What do you look forward to on Wednesdays?
Just like talking, playing music in the car.
Okay.
And just talking about anything.
What's the thing that you've done that just sticks out with you? I know every Wednesday's been awesome and been great, but what's the thing that you all have done so far that you're like, man, that's been really, really cool. I kind of can't maybe wait to do that again.
Playing soccer.
Okay. Okay. And so when you guys go out and play soccer, so what goes on when you all compete against each other? I mean, is it rough? Is it pushing? Is there, I mean, celebrations? What goes on when you all go head to head on soccer?
Everything like pushing, slide tackling, and then celebrating.
Okay, we might have to go ahead and get this on film a little bit. Get this on film. What's the best part about Emiliano? Like that people, again, I asked a question like what people don't know by just look without talking to you. What's the thing about Emiliano that just you have gotten to learn over the years you all have been together?
I think that he's such a kind kid, and I think as adults we kind of lose that sense of kindness and being kind to one another, and I just see that it just pushes me as well just to be kinder. He's such a good kid. Then that's something that I've picked up on and I'd like to see.
Awesome. And Emiliano, what's something about Ciro that like that other people don't, and you just like, hey, they really need to know this about him?
That like he's like when you look at him, it's like he looks kind, but the thing is
there's that pause. Now we're going to break.
he likes to make a lot of bets.
Okay.
And he'll say something like, if you score, I'll give you like $600 and something like that. And if I miss, I have to give him $1 or nothing.
Okay.
So sometimes I end up with money, sometimes I don't.
All right. We might have to shut this show down and go out of here. Harrison and I want to go ahead and play. DP, we'll be back. The rest of this is going to be a replay. We're going to go out and play. We're going to go out and play Ciro out.
We call Warhorse. See if they can set up some friends for us.
Oh, that's awesome. So, as you all talked about your relationships and your partnerships and things that are really cool with one another, what you talked about what got you into this program. Why were you so excited when you met Ciro?
Because we had like the same like we did the same stuff.
Okay.
Like we were athletic and like both kind of the same. Like we were very similar.
Okay. And what was your excitement like? I mean, you talked about being nervous a little bit, and you kind of looked at, okay, this is going to be kind of after school hours and, meeting on Wednesday, and it's an investment of time. It's a good investment, but it's an investment of time. What was something for you that you were like, okay, I'm just a little bit nervous about how this is all going to go?
Sure. And kind of piggybacking off of Emiliano, I think the Big Brother Big Sister organization does a great job at pairing you with a really good match. So we I kind of gave my interests and he gave his interest, and we got matched. I'm really happy. They just do a fantastic job at that. So I think also a little apprehension was, I don't know if I'm going to be good with kids.
Right.
So I was a little skeptical there, but my girlfriend, once again, Michaela, giving her a shout out. She kind of told me like, actually, this is something you don't really notice, like, but you're actually really good with kids.
Wow.
And I think that this is going to be something good for you. And it was, and it also got me to coaching. So I also coach the soccer team, PRL.
Okay.
Well, I did. He moved up. He's balling out now.
Look at you. After all those bets, he's like, I'm done. You're betting and I ain't get paid, so I'm moving up to the next level. Good stuff.
Exactly. So I think it's, I think.
Awesome. So Emiliano, what makes him such a great coach? I mean, we talked about him being obviously he's pretty cool big, but what makes him a great coach?
He pushes us because most other coaches there doesn't like just have fun and stuff, but he like pushes us to make us better. And he like makes us run, but he also like makes us laugh too.
Okay. So he makes you run, but he makes you laugh. Does he run with you? He looks like a cat that can go ahead and still go ahead and he's got some wheels on him.
Yeah,
He runs with you? Okay. I kind of figured just by looking at it. I was going to take a long shot. It was a guess, but I felt pretty safe on that one. Hey, we're going to get ready to go to break, but when we come back, I'm going to ask you kind of what we ask each week, all our guests, some advice that you would have for your peers, some advice that you would have for the greater community and educators, and then some advice that you'd have for parents. So we're on the other side of this break, 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project, and you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday, Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Are you working in or looking to get the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed assigned to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J.
You know, earning a black shirt is a great honor. I mean, obviously you got coaches that haven't been here before, but at the end of the day, they understand somewhat of what it means. And the majority of the guys, or the guys that got them, they must be doing something right. For me personally, you know, that was something I never forgot, man. It was just when I was on campus, because I never envisioned myself doing anything until my senior year.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes, don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Work your skill through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bigger Than the Score on 93.7 The Ticket. This is Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined on the boards again every Sunday morning with Harrison. Greatly appreciate that. Harrison, you want to tell them if they want to get in touch with us, how they can go ahead and do that?
Yep, absolutely. Same as always. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. And I should shout out Amazon Prime. We are on there as well. I always leave that one out, but if you want to go out there, we are on Amazon Prime as well.
Fantastic. Well, hey, joined in studio with Scholar Emilio. He's a sixth grader at Color Middle School, and he is part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. And so he is one of the matches. And then Ciro, who is his big. And Ciro and they have been matched for an extended period of time. And we were talking about that during the break. You all have been matched for what, two or 3 years? Wow. So what has that been like? I mean, as you've seen your relationship grow, because obviously, Emiliano was third, end of second grade when you all got matched.
Mm-hmm. So it's been cool to see the growth. I might put Emiliano on the spot, but he was really shy at first.
Okay.
He was a super shy kid. Now he's not shy at all.
Okay.
So it's cool to see that in a kid. Like also, we talked about in coaching. It's cool to see like just a kid grow and become better and become like the best version of himself. And being a part of that process is also really, really cool to be a part of it.
Awesome. And Emiliano, what's that been like? Here you've got somebody that's been in your life for, a significant part of, a part of your life. What's that been like seeing that relationship grow?
Like at first, when I first met him, he'd be like asking me questions, but now it's like I get in his car, he asks me what song, and then we play it.
Okay.
And then just vibe to it.
Awesome. I like that he had that head bobbing or whatever, that question. So right away, it took me back, Harrison. He said, so I get in his car and he asked me questions. He's like, okay, kind of like this guy is right now when you come in the studio. So I want to flip the script a little bit because we said this during break. You're going to get the opportunity, Emiliano, to ask each of us a question. All right. So go ahead, fire away.
When did you start the podcast?
Awesome. So Bigger Than the Score started almost about a year ago. And so in October will be our 1 year anniversary. And so again, thankful to DP and Rebecca and Harrison has been here for almost every show. That was just an idea that we had some conversations on elevating individuals' voices like yourself. And we're coming up on a year. So great question. All right. What do you got? You got Harrison, you got Ciro.
What got you into playing like tennis and other sports?
So in high school, actually, growing up, soccer was the only thing I cared about, playing soccer. Then my buddy and I, come fall, like, what are we going to do until soccer season, until winter league? And our friend just says, hey, we have some spots to fill on the tennis team. And we're like, let's do it. And that's how I got into tennis. And the coaches were super, super nice because I'd never even thought about tennis. But it's interesting because like the footwork and the sprints in tennis kind of correlate to soccer. So we were both naturally just pretty decent at the sport, and we picked up on it really quickly. And the coaches also kind of taught us that. That's how I got into tennis, and just I love other sports. I love sports.
Awesome. And you got one up for Harrison now.
What job did you have before podcasting?
Well, that's a good one, actually. I was, believe it or not, I was in maintenance and painting and drywall. I did that for a long time. I went through the Southeast Community College route for the first 2 years before going to UNL. And yeah, I just needed money, and I was like, let's learn some trade skills with it as well. And I'll be honest, like I'm kind of happy for it. Now if I ever own a home, I know how to take care of it. If my AC goes out, I know how to check at least some basic things before I go spend thousands of dollars to get it replaced. So yeah, it's a little bit of an interesting route to get to a sports radio station. But yeah, no, great question. I was doing drywall and maintenance for CIP was the company.
Awesome. Let's see, there you go. We're gonna have you taking over, you and Antonio next week. We won't, Harrison and I won't be here. It'll be Antonio and Emiliano will go ahead and take over the airways on Bigger Than the Score. How's that sound?
All right.
Okay, sounds good. Well, hey, both of you are part of a program called Big Brothers Big Sisters. We've mentioned and kind of not informally, but Big Brothers Big Sisters is a mentoring opportunity within Lincoln, and across the globe. It's a 1-to-1 match, and you all have done it for a number of years. Laura down there is one of the individuals that I'm connected with. A phenomenal opportunity. Just tell us a little bit what makes Big Brothers Big Sisters special.
So I think what makes this organization really special is that they do a really good job at kind of introducing you to how everything will work. Like I remember going in, and Melissa, she trained me, and at first I didn't know what we were going to do. They have great activities, and shout out to local businesses here in Lincoln.
Yeah.
They do a great job at providing us experiences that otherwise probably would not know of or would not have the opportunity to do so. So local businesses here open their doors for bigs and littles to participate. So I think what makes this organization great is the people, how easy it is to be a part of, and just how they continue to like keep in touch with me and make sure everything's going well. They're just great people here at Big
Well,
Brothers.
and you talked about that support. I think sometimes we were kind of joking during the break, but there's oftentimes there's a need for males. There's a need for males in mentoring organizations, especially like Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we're afraid of commitment a lot of times. And so what does that training look like that made you say, okay, this is something I feel comfortable, I feel supported, but I also feel valued, that I can be the best person that I can be and deliver what I want to deliver?
I think what they told me, I know there's a commitment for a year,
Right.
But they made it sound like it would be okay because life happens.
Yeah.
And they made me feel comfortable with, taking that first step.
Right.
They made me feel really comfortable with just taking the first step of joining. And it's just, just get the ball rolling, and it's just continued.
And I think a lot of things is they say like, hey, a lot of organizations say you need to make this commitment, but what in turn during that training, but during that time that you've seen with Emiliano, it's an investment.
Absolutely.
It's not just I'm making a commitment, but I'm making an investment, not only you and him, but he's making that in you. And so I want to ask Emiliano, like, why is Big Brothers Big Sisters so special?
Because like when you get matched, you always have a fun time no matter what. And then like they also sometimes like do stuff like you can go swimming and like get some tickets for a hockey game or something.
Okay.
And you always have like a good relationship.
I think what's cool about that, and it kind of goes back to what you said, Sarah, is that support of the community and local businesses, and just realizing and understanding that mentorship is a significant deal. Many of these companies want that, obviously, and model that within their organization. And so for them to give back to the greater community is something that's huge as well.
Absolutely. And I want to ask you, I think a lot of people, when they get into want to do these things, they kind of worried about that commitment. From your end, obviously, what were those first few kind of weeks, right? Because you don't make a best friend day one, right? It's got to take time. And obviously, you talked about he's a little shy before. That's a lot of kids. They're typically a little shy. So what does that kind of look like for the first few weeks, and what's important to keep in mind for those who are interested in doing this?
So the first few weeks consisted of we went bowling. That was our first time. I did a lot of the talking, but it's kind of like when you see progress, it kind of like makes you want to do it more. So after the first week, we just met each other. Then the second week, kind of learned a little bit more about each other. The third week, started to learn even more and what he likes to do, what I like to do. And then we built and built and built on that. So I think it's easy to get past that. If you get past like the first couple of weeks, it'll work itself out. Kind of like when you go running, once you start running, you love it, but it's just that first putting the shoes on,
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Miliano, I want to ask you a question. What's a piece of advice that you'd have for somebody that's thinking about coming into mentoring, being a big?
Just try to keep moving and just have a good time.
Okay. I like that. What's Cyril, same thing. What's a piece of advice that you'd have for somebody that might be considering it?
So piece of advice in general too, kind of. I got this piece of advice, and I want to give it to the rest of y'all. And it's kind of going with what Harrison talked about. Lincoln has really good people. Lincoln's kind of slept on, and people want to move. Me being one of them, I really wanted to move after graduating. 'Cause growing up here, try something new. But I talked to a buddy, and he's like, I know you really want to move, but try new things in Lincoln that you would do in other cities. Pretend you did move. Pretend you moved to Lincoln and put yourself out there. Do these things that you would do, and I still want to move at some point to Austin. Me and everybody else,
Okay.
right? He said, try those new things here in Lincoln.
Wow.
And I did, and I've gotten to meet spectacular people, and I think it's a piece of advice that I think we all should try these new things here in the city that we're in, because I didn't know Lincoln had these great volunteering opportunities, these great local businesses, and I've lived here my whole life. I just never put myself out there, and yeah.
I think the cool part is it's about making an impact, making an impact where you're at. And, mentors make an impact, and Big Brothers Big Sisters has surveyed their youth, and it showed the following: that 96% improved, maintained educational expectations, 89% improved, maintained academic performance, 100% of youth felt they had a very important adult in their life, 94% improved, maintained emotional regulation, and 92% improved, maintained attitudes towards risky behavior. And so when you talked about just, invest and try it here, not only does that correlate an investment here, but it also makes a tremendous impact as shown by the numbers. So I think that's something in itself. Emiliano, what's a piece of advice that you would have for educators, for teachers or people in schools? What's a piece of advice that you'd have for them?
To not get mad all the time and just be chill. Just have a smile.
Okay.
And stuff.
Why is that important? Why is that important to be chill?
Because if you're not and you're all mad, then your students will not really want you to teach.
Okay. I like that. What's a piece of advice that you'd have for the city of Lincoln? Or I'm going to just say this even more. What's a piece of advice you'd have for the world right now?
To never get old.
Wow. Why is that?
Because then you'll get wrinkles, you'll get gray hairs and everything.
I didn't take my hat off earlier, Harrison, so he didn't see that I got the shine going on.
Yeah, he's got, for all those who are watching on streams, he's got a few people jealous out there, I'm sure, Pete being one of them.
Yeah, I mean, his brother comes in with a nice full head, and both of y'all got these beautiful locks going on. So same thing, Cyril. What's a piece of advice that you'd have for, let's just say, educators?
Honestly, I'm going to piggyback off of Emiliano. Just not take everything super seriously, because I remember when I was a kid, I was a troublemaker.
Okay.
And I've talked to some teachers recently, wow, I might have been a little bit too hard on you.
Okay.
But no, I think LPS does a really good job. I think the teachers are fantastic. I really do. I think they provide the resources for growth, and I'm a product of LPS, and I'm proud of it.
No, we're proud to have you as one. Real quickly, just what's one piece of advice that you would tell people if they want to get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Just look online. Just check it out. Don't make any commitment yet. Just check it out. And I mean, personal experience, I guarantee you will like it. But just go online.
Absolutely. And it is bbbslincoln.org. For all those who want to go online, check it out, get all your information there.
And like you said, Emiliano, or tell us one thing that people need to, one thing you want to leave us with.
Messi is better than Ronaldo.
Shots fired. Who's your football team this week? Who's pro football team that you want to win today?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. That's what I'm talking. We should end the show on that. What about you?
Cowboys.
Hey, looks like you're outnumbered.
I'm glad we got to that at the very end. I'm gonna hit the music.
Hey, again, thank you to both Emiliano and Ciro, both part of Big Brothers Big Sisters. If you want more information, please check them out at bbbsl.org. That's a trick one. 3bsl.org. Go ahead and look them up. There's ways to volunteer, support. Also, as we want to close, Cornel West says we have to recognize that there cannot be relationships unless there is commitment, unless there is loyalty, unless there is love, patience, and persistence. Again, relationships absolutely matter. Join us next week on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.